Hey, what's up guys? Daz Petzergling, and we are doing the 4th game of the MSL Finals. It's been a great series so far. Luxury is up 2-1 on JangBi in what have been two amazing games, and the last game was actually pretty mediocre. Luxury just did a Zergling run by, and somehow JangBi was not prepared for it. Actually, you know, it's an interesting note. We never mentioned this before, although I might have just said something yet on the past. JangBi, he did have 4 probes moved down there. So he was ready for a run by, but he's, you know, it's just kind of one of those things where I think he was ready for it to happen, kind of, but he really wasn't expecting it to happen. So even though he did have 4 probes there, I don't think he was really paying attention, because those 4 probes, he didn't really move them back. Like, he definitely could have moved those 4 probes back and had them in his choke, but they were kind of a little out of position, and he was a little late to respond, and he didn't get all 4 probes in his choke before the Zerglings. So the Zerglings were just kind of able to get in between the probes and pick them off, and then Luxury got in JangBi's base and ran the Zerglings around and killed them, and then that, you know, set him so far behind that pretty much was the game. Apart from that, the series has been really great, and this is now Byzantium 2 that they're playing on, which is the most balanced map of the series. Looking forward to a really good game here. I think this is the best map for JangBi so far, and they're starting, so I'm going to sync it up here. 1-0, and we're on. Yeah, this is the most balanced map, and this is the best map for JangBi in the series, so I'm really looking forward to JangBi taking this game and bringing it to a 5th set, which would be a totally fitting end for an awesome series like this one has been so far. And I really think JangBi can do it. I think JangBi can win this game. I don't really know what exactly he's going to do, but this is a pretty good map for him, and so I'm excited to see this game and to see what happens, see what kind of build we're gonna see from JangBi or Luxury. This is gonna be one of the maps that Luxury has the least potential to abuse any kind of bullshit. Although it is a little hard to SimCity on this map, at least I think it is. I'm not sure exactly what the SimCities are supposed to look like here, but I still think that that's not going to be too much of a difference, and I'm really looking forward to JangBi taking this game. I really hope he does. This series needs to go to a 5th set.
Oh, I totally agree, and I think JangBi's going to be real comfortable on this map, but at the same time, you have to expect a player like Luxury to have some kind of crazy build prepared for it. I mean, to have all these Carthage and Neo Harmony maps where you can just totally abuse the late game, and that's probably where Luxury's been practicing the most, as we clearly saw. And not to say that he wasn't practicing on this, but I really expect some sort of really technical build here from Luxury. And it wouldn't surprise me again to see a late game, and there's the overpool. So pretty standard so far, but at the same time, Luxury's gone 9-pool speed twice in the last 2 games, and now we're seeing an overpool with gas before the drone, so a really fast speed, and I don't think he's going to go for any sort of wing run by again. I think that'd be a little bit too predictable, but JangBi, kind of interesting placement. He built his forge on top, so I'm not sure where he's going to put his gateways, but just like you said, a little bit different in this map, just kind of the way the natural is in the high ground and the main is in a low ground, so it's going to be a little bit different the way you have to SimCity. And there's Frozen, I want to say.
That's Frozen, yeah.
But anyway, overpool gas, so I'm going to be interested to see what Luxury decides to do, and he's not going to be able to put his hatch down. And one of the benefits of going overpool gas instead of 9-pool gas is you get your hatch down before you hatch your Zerglings, but because JangBi first scouted Luxury, he's going to have that probe in there being annoying, and he's not going to be able to put his hatchery down, so a little bit of an economic loss there, and good move from JangBi, but at the same time, Luxury scouted first with his Overlord, so pretty standard game. 2 cannons going down. I'm not sure. I don't know. Did he bring it back?
I don't see it on the minimap.
Oh, there it is. It's right there, dumbass.
Yeah, we're fine. Well, it wasn't there a minute ago. I didn't see it on the minimap, and it wasn't on the screen. Hey, don't call me a dumbass. It's just rude, man. Okay, well, it looks like they're opening up pretty standard so far. Overpool, speed, into hatchery. Luxury's going to have a pretty strong economy, and he's going to be able to take out that probe and deny the scouting. At the same time, JangBi, you know, he's a little bit behind. I mean, not really behind, but he wasn't able to put down the Nexus before the cannons. He had to put down 2 cannons before Nexus. So, you know, it's pretty even right now. Not a whole lot you can say. We just kind of have to wait and see what the players decide to do. JangBi's doing a really great job of keeping this probe alive, though. I have to give him credit for that. I mean, the longer you keep the probe alive, the better off you are. Oh, okay, the probe goes down now.
Well, just when speed comes out.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't do anything with a probe against speed Zerglings, but he did a good job keeping that alive against all 6 of them and keeping it running around the main so he can see exactly what's going on. I mean, one of the most important things to watch out for is when the Zerg puts his drones on his gap, and if the Zerg wants to cheese you, if he wants to, or not cheese you, but if he wants to like all in you, like all in Mutalisks or all in Hydralisks, the later that he puts his drones back on gas, the later that's going to happen. So I mean, the longer you keep the probe alive, the better it is for you there. And as far as that okay, we see the Sim City there. He actually didn't put the gateway above the forge because gateway with a wall on top of it is not Zergling proof either. So if there's going to be a hole in your Sim City, it's better off at the middle than at the top. Do you know what I mean? So either way, you're going to have a hole in these positions, because if you put the gateway above the forge, the gateway is going to be up against the wall and there's going to be a hole there. So I mean, this is a pretty good Sim City for him, especially now that he placed the core there. There really leaves almost no room. I mean, he's got 2 1-Zealot spaces, so there's definitely not going to be any Zergling shenanigans this game. There's just no way that they're going to be able to break through that. That's a really huge banner. I just wanted to mention that. I guess it is the final. What happens to the people who are sitting behind that? Like, can you maybe pissed off? Like, if you were
yeah, that kind of sucks. I'd be mad if I was behind that. Maybe they just have it and they just hold it up when the camera comes on them, but still. I just want to point out, though, I don't know if you missed it, but the way Luxury set up his build is he saved his larva, and he started morphing his larva when speed was just about to finish, so the probe is actually picked off right after 3 eggs were about to hatch. So even though JangBi kept his probe alive, he didn't see what those 3 eggs were, and the 3rd cannon going down, so JangBi really completely in the dark, and Luxury also sent his Zerglings out in sort of a grid to see, because JangBi has hit a probe every single game so far in some random location and gone it back into Luxury's base, and Luxury wants to get that containment and keep a solid. He doesn't want any probes to get out, and so he wants to keep the Zerglings right outside of his base, and so first he grids the Zerglings everywhere to find any sort of probe out hidden around the map. And actually a pretty standard build here from Luxury. Looks like a Spire gone down, he's got 4 hatches, and I'm assuming the 5th one is going to be down soon in the Hydra Den. So besides Evo Chambers, I think we've seen everything we need to see for a standard game, and I think JangBi pretty much doing the same thing, just throwing down his tech. He's going to get, I'm presuming JangBi. I don't think we've seen too much of JangBi's tech, more of the crowd and Luxury's face, but I presume that JangBi's going for a pretty standard game by his the way his Sim City is placed out. Right, and there's the 5th hatch, so real standard, and now he's going to see that, and really, wow, it's a really nice game to go into the 4th game to see both players playing extremely standard, extremely safe, and both of them really confident, and to see JangBi go out and play, you know, super standard, and not to say that every Forge Fast Expand is standard, but JangBi could have at least mixed it up or done some sort of like +1 leg speed timing attacks, or I think the last game he tried to go for Sayer Reader, but he really didn't go for anything kind of non-standard. He opened up with the Sayer DT into increased gateways and then 3rd base every single time so far this game, besides the last link run by game, obviously.
Well, yeah, because that game he was forced to kind of do something different. You can't, if you get that far behind in a game, you can't just play standard. You have to go for something, you know, in order to catch yourself back up. But yeah, every other game JangBi's been playing completely standard. We haven't seen him do any kind of +1 attacks or any kind of timings or even really not really even Sarah Reaver apart from that game. So you know, I like that from JangBi. I think JangBi knows that that's where his strength is. He's good in the standard game, and that's what he really wants to do. And Luxury's kind of playing into his hands right here, and we're gonna have to see if Luxury can keep up with him. But JangBi's actually got his no, he doesn't have +1 yet. I'm assuming he's gonna have it any second now because he's going for this kind of Zealot bust. And no, he doesn't have it, and not gonna do any damage there. Too many Hydralisks and Zerglings. So, you know, he's at least putting some pressure on Luxury, and who knows, I mean, that might have forced Luxury to start making a bunch of Zerglings in his hatcheries as opposed to start making drones.